Good evening and welcome to the 802 iRacing podcast. I am your host, Rob Lowell. Joining me is my co-host, Brandon Garrand. Brandon, how are you doing tonight?
Bad Rob, how are we doing tonight?
Hey, I cannot complain. Yourself?
Not not too bad. It's Friday. Um, we can dive into it a little bit later, but I did have a very good night last night. So yeah, started off. I'll say last night started off the weekend of racing very good for me. So hopefully we keep it moving forward, especially after how last weekend went at Bristol.
Yeah, we'll definitely touch base on that. Um, I haven't even looked to see how the last night went. I wanted to race, but I fell asleep. So, um, we'll get to it here in a minute. So Bristol's in the review mirror. Couple good races, I thought. Um, Overall, I don't think there was anything really um, bad or anything that didn't go how we thought it would go. The track is definitely different than it used to be. It used to be pretty top dominant, and well, now not so much so. Um,
Yeah, very. Used to be a very racy track where you could kind of work the bottom. Like last year, I remember working the bottom a lot, and like it helped me save tires. But this year it was, yeah, like you said, it was all bottom dominant, and yeah, there was no really getting. I mean, the middle kind of a little bit, but definitely not on Friday night though. The amount of traction in the car on Friday night when you got off the bottom was there was nothing. It was like being on an ice track. I thought I was racing the Bristol dirt track. So
it
it
definitely
was,
was a challenge.
yeah, it was fun, but yeah, it was a little bit of a struggle for me, my personally this week. Just I think more bad luck. I don't really even remember what happened Friday that got me kind of behind the ball, but Sunday we got behind the ball right off. So
Yeah, I felt like um, you and I were kind of mirrored. I was in trouble right off the bat on Sunday night, and Friday night I wasn't in as much trouble. But um, I guess we'll jump into it here. Let's first off talk about we don't have anything to report on the G.Stone Motors 358 Modified League. Our broadcaster was under the weather this week. Roger was pretty sick. Um, he was gonna try to power through it, and then about an hour before race time, he sent us a message saying, "Hey, I'm just too sick. I need to go to bed." So, um, totally understand. What we're gonna do there is we're gonna just push the whole season to right a week. So it was supposed to be Williams Grove this week. We'll just start back up Tuesday night, this coming Tuesday at Williams Grove. So,
yep.
um,
Also want to say, Dean, if you're out there listening, get well, buddy. Um, yeah, scary thing about Dean, but
yeah, Dean
glad
had a
he's
little
doing.
health hiccup,
Yeah,
but
glad
I,
he's doing better.
I, I I've seen he's been poking people a little bit this week, poking his friends. So I think he's feeling better, and
Yeah.
he's only got about 3 weeks, and he's got to head to Florida, maybe even two. So um, rest up, and I will see you in the Sunshine State on January 30th, Dean, when I
I'm
land
sure
down
some of
there.
that warm weather will help him too. I
The,
mean,
so we talk
but
about it all the time. Is after about 2 days down there in the 70, 80-degree weather, all the aches and pains you have up here in the wintertime seem to just melt away.
gone, gone. But I would feel like that would also make for such a struggle when you do have to come back. Like, I don't want to. Can I just stay down here until it's like spring up there?
Yeah, I
But
remember one one year we got back and it was I don't know, like 10 below. Our flight left Sanford at like 6 o'clock in the morning, 6:30. We landed in Plattsburgh like at 9:30, and it was like 12 below, 6 below, something like that. Oh, it was just brutal. We left 78 degrees and landed at 12 below, so it sucked.
it
that,
reminded
that
me of that scene from I don't know if you have to have seen the Jamaican bobsled movie Cool Runnings.
Yes.
where they where they show up in Calgary and they see the snow, the wind chill, and they're just standing at the airport doors like, what is that?
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
my wife and I flew home from our honeymoon in the middle of April in 2015, and we volunteered to get off our flight, flying home on Sunday night. It was down in Miami. It was 90 degrees in Miami at 9:30 at night when we got off the plane and headed to the hotel. And we were landing in Logan the next day, and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, it ain't gonna be that bad. Well, it was like 27 degrees. You go from 90 to 27. It's a big deal too.
yeah,
So
yeah. That's yeah. No.
yeah. So let's just jump into the. We got the top five up here from the race Friday night, Brandon. I'll let you run through the top five.
Yeah. So top five. Chad Coleman goes back to back in the Busch Series. Second place, Kenny Rio. Good to see Kenny out. Also, Dustin, great run. Dustin finishes third. Shane Tater finishes fourth, and Shannon Wood finishes fifth. And yeah, that's it for everybody that's on the lead lap. Also, is the top five.
Yeah.
So
So um, one of the things
I
I wanted.
I'm trying to remember going through it, and it wasn't like egregious cautions. It was just Bristol's one of them tracks where it's hard to get woed up just visibility wise when you're full throttle coming off the corner and then all of a sudden with the bank and then you just barely get that straightaway peripheral and you never know what could be coming up off that corner when you're on it.
Yeah. Um, one thing I just want to comment on is, we had the iRating cap um, raised 2 3 weeks ago now, and there was a lot of talk about, a lot of discussion, and people were worried about were we going to push some of our lower iRating guys out of contention. I just want to go over the iRating in the top five here. So Chad is right at the cap. The cap's 5,000. He's 4,999. Kenny is 4,335. Dustin right in the middle, pretty much. He's 2853. Um, Shane is 1,983, and Shannon is 1622. So um, this thought that guys that are below 3,000 or something are going to be able to compete. Um, we've seen the last 2 weeks that's kind of been blown out the window. We've had guys sub 2,000 easily finish in the top 10. So
Yeah.
um, I personally feel a little vindication there that it hasn't been what some of the doom and gloomers had been predicting. So really happy to see that. Um, let's talk about the battle for the win. So I will say with 30 to go, 25 to go, I did not think Chad was going to win it. I was out of the race at that point. I was watching on the Blip View. I was watching Race Labs, and Kenny was taking 2 to 3 tenths off a lap. Um, and Kenny had a little bit of a tire advantage. I thought he was going to go up there and drive by him, and then he got to that dreaded 2 to 4 tenths bubble, and um, Kenny kind of said it felt like dirty air in his interview on the broadcast. Like he got to him, and then he just couldn't. Um, and I think there's some truth to that because watch it. I don't, Brandon, you were watching it or watched it after, but it's not like Kenny started to equal out. He was that 2 to 3 tenths faster lap right up until he got to him, and then it stalled.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like the tires
I mean,
equalized; it just stalled. Like so.
it was it was definitely tricky like to close up on somebody. They really had to mess up and just miss their line to really get some clean air cuz like I said earlier, the Xfinity car seemed way more needing to be on the bottom to be stable. If you tried to duck to the outside a little bit, it just was the car was really loose in my opinion. And yeah, unless like the guy in front of you missed the bottom a little bit and you could get some clean air on the bottom, that's the only way you could kind of really suck up to him. But there was this like fine air where you couldn't really close up and do the old Bristol bump and run maybe, which who knows? Maybe Kenny would have, maybe he wouldn't have, but yeah, he just he was faster, and then he couldn't close anymore, and I was right behind them on the track. Him, Dustin. I think I was much further back than that, and I was watching when they had all passed me, all three of them. I said, Kenny's got this. He's gonna reel him in, and just it never happened.
Yeah, that's what I thought with like 25 to go. I said Kenny's gonna win this. And it would have been good for Kenny because we all pick on Kenny, and it is it's just joking with him. But we say, hey, you avoid the short tracks. You don't like the technical tracks. Well, he proved last Friday night that he can run on the short tracks. He was there all night. So
I feel like
that
he was fast too when we raced at. I feel like he was there at Richmond in the Xfinity car, and I feel like he was really fast there too. So, yeah, Kenny's good everywhere. I mean,
yep.
like you said, we just like to call him the restrictor plate merchant or whatever they say. So, but no, Kenny's good, and yeah, it's good to see him racing on Friday every now and then.
Let's uh let's finish through. I'll take like 6 through 12 here, and then you can run the rest of it. So sixth
Yep.
place was Brian Wortman. Seventh place was Steve Ritter. Steve, Steve, Steve got wrecked early and just soldiered on all night and stayed there. Got top 10 out of it. Logan Kogar was eighth. Matthew Croak was ninth. Brandon, you rounded out the top 10. Bryce Anderson was 11th. Landon Audit was 12th. I finished 13th. I was out of the race. Um, Kyle Wellman was
Yes.
14th. Oh, sorry, 14th. I'll let you go from
No,
there.
I was gonna say I think everybody else is pretty much out of the race from here. Lots and lots of laps down. So yeah, Wellman 14th. Points leader Cody Gibson with I think his worst finish of the year, possibly. So
Yeah, I think so.
that
It's
that's
definitely
shocking.
be a
Cody was
de-
fast. I mean, like I said, it's just one of them Bristol mayhem things. Cody was fast. He was up front all night. Also, Mike Kelly really fast. Pole sitter, led the most laps. Just caught up in something. Also, finished 16th. Jorge Ledesma Jr. 17th. Ron Holyfield 18th. Casey Simmons 19th. Frank Zingen 20th. Connor Dudek 21st. Tanner Marr 22nd. Johnny Barker 23rd. Joey Gattina 24th. And Larry Bell 25th. Also, really good to see another really high car count in the Xfinity Series. We were struggling, but back to back 20 plus 25 cars, I think, actually last two races. So,
yeah, and
really good to see the car count out.
I think tonight at Texas being a bigger track, we'll see more too.
Yep.
Let's look at the points real quick. I will slide them over onto the screen. Nothing ever opens the way I want it to. Oh, it opens on a different screen. So Cody Gibson still leads the point standings. Um, Logan Colgar is second. He's 43 points back. Brandon, you sit third. Um, you
Yep.
are 53 points back. Dustin Coggins sits fourth, and Steve Ritter sits fifth. Let you do the rest of the top 10. We'll just go to the top 10
Yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah. Then we got Tanner Marr sixth, Johnny Barker seventh, Larry Bell's in eighth, Jorge Desmond Jr. is in ninth, and Ron Holyfield 10th. And still, like that gap from first to second, 43 points, but then the gap from second to 10th is 46 or 56 points. So the difference between first and second pretty big, but as we see, Cody can have bad luck too. He's not invincible as we all might have thought most of this year so far. Cody Gibson not invincible, so
Yep.
still
And
probably a puncher's chance if one of the top 10 can get hot. Like I said, there's pretty much a 56 point gap between second and 10th, but yeah, um, it'll be a fun little battle. I mean, like we said last week, we're just barely over a third of the way through the season, so still lots of racing, and you never know what can happen.
yeah, and like we talked last week, you know, more cars running in the races now. Cody has a bad race. Yeah, he had one this week, but it's a drop. But if he has another one, then he's used up, two drops on bad races where up until
Yep.
last week, his drops, and I think he'd been dropping top 10 still. So,
Might have been top five. I mean,
yeah. So,
yeah, because I mean, his stats
yeah,
just saying he started 10 races. He's got eight top fives, eight top tens.
yep.
So
So,
when he finishes top 10, he finishes top five,
yeah,
and
and if so,
seven of those are podiums.
Yeah, and if something happens, he has a couple bad races here. All of a sudden, things
Yep.
start to look a little different. So,
Yeah, I
um,
know. I talk with Dustin a lot. Like when we're in the Xfinity race, I kind of team up with him and we chat a little bit. And each week we're like, oh, Logan had a bad week. We'll gain on him. But then we're like, oh shit, that's probably like the way his drop races end up. We actually didn't gain on him. So
right,
you
because he
never know.
dropped.
Like
Yep,
yeah, he got to bring back a really good finish that was being dropped.
yep.
So instead of an eighth, or let's say he finished 15th last week, I'm thinking that's his drop. Nope, that'll be his finish. Nope, that's his drop, and then a third place finish gets brought back or something, just hypothetically. So
We
yeah,
got
it'll
about
shake out a lot like that.
we got about 12 minutes before we get Joey in here. I told him 7:30. Let's
Okay.
look at the cup results real quick. And then we may not get cup points, but we'll get to the results at least. And we'll do the previews after we talk to Joey.
Yep. Yep.
So, uh, last week, race 11 of 26, we were at Bristol with the Next Gen Cup car and another first time winner on the 802 Cup Series, Mike Kelly driving the Sim 500 43 car in the Richard Petty um, made famous paint scheme.
Redemption for Mike. As I
Yep.
said, he had some trouble Friday, was the dominant car, and yeah, comes back Sunday and just takes down the win.
And it was hard fought. But he was there all night. It's not something weird happened where he late
Yeah, no,
race got
he
up
didn't
there.
luck into it or nothing. Nope.
Nope, he was there all night. Steve Ritter was second. Scott Simley, my pick was third. So, Steve, I know you're listening. See that I can pick someone and not jinx them to wreck. So pretty sure Simley was my pick last week, and he finished top three. So I've been getting beat up by my teammate for picking him, and then he wrecks every week. So maybe it's not a Rob problem. Just saying.
Yeah, I
Um,
can't actually even remember who I picked last week. Now that we're now that you mention it, but I'll let you keep going. Oh, Kip. I picked
yeah,
Kip.
you picked Kip.
Six. Not bad. Good run
Yeah.
by Kip again.
Chad Coleman, another strong run in fourth, and our defending champ Jeff Bogle was fifth. So 200 laps, we had 9 cautions for 36 caution laps. We had 8 lead changes. Start field was 22.92. Um, so Kip Easley, as Brandon said, was sixth. Anthony Calantoni was seventh. Jim Ott was eighth. Frank Zingen back in the field last week was ninth, and Charles Van Shake, sorry, excuse me, was 10th. I'll let you run from there, Brandon.
Yeah. So then, Rob, you were 11th. Joey Gattina's our guest, 12th. Cody Meadows 13th. Ron Holyfield 14th. Irvia Caton with a great run, top 15. Steve S 16th. Shannon Wood 17th. And last car in the lead lap, Gerald Livingston 18th. Landon Audette 19th. Eli Raposa 20th. Nick Larson 21st, Sammy Harrell 22nd, myself 23rd, Johnny Barker 24th, Shane Tatro 25th, Joe Hudson 26th, Jason White 27th, Chris Kroger 28th, and Kenny Real, who I don't think actually made the start. He was in the server. I have him on here. But yeah, Kenny attempted, but he didn't make the green flag on Sunday. So 29 cars. I mean, for Bristol, 29 cars, 18 of us still finished on the lead lap. I think that's awesome. It says 9 cautions, but like going back and after watching like basically the whole race again, just doing the pictures and stuff, like nothing really egregious caution wise in my opinion. Like just some simple, lot of like self spins. I mean, as honestly as most of the season has been, a lot of our cautions have been a lot of self spins. And yeah, sometimes the self spins lead into a bigger accident, but it's not people taking other people out a lot of the time. So yeah, I would
Yeah,
say for a Bristol race, 9 cautions, like I said, 18 cars finished on the lead lap. Uh, 23 of us still finished at the end of the race. So
yeah, and I'll
yeah,
be honest. Johnny
Johnny was
parked
there at
it.
the end too, and he
He
parked it
parked
very
it
late.
because there was enough laps there was enough laps between where he was and the next guy running, which would have been you at the time, where
Yep.
he wasn't going to make it up. So honestly, there would have been, if that had been the case, there would have been 24 of 29 starters still on the track at the end. And I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
if I would have kept
impressive.
better track of the laps, I would have parked it too. I didn't. You get to that point where you're like, well, I'm not gonna gain anything, even if people wreck out, and the guy behind me is not gonna catch me. So what's the point?
Yeah, so
But
I was doing that, and I went out and ran laps, and I did gain spots. So um,
on Friday,
on Friday night, yeah, I gained
yeah, yeah,
I think 3 spots running the last. They were in the last 12 laps.
yeah.
So
Like I wrecked. I was in the first wreck of the night, and that had me 28th. So stayed out there, and I got up to 23rd.
yeah,
The real goal is like if I can get up to 20th, that'd be great. And never got there. Didn't get as many cautions as I really thought we would get, but that's also not like the worst thing either.
I ran out of talent on lap 0. Coming to the green, I spun out coming out turn 4. But I just
It
nosed it
happens.
down to I nosed it down to the wall and didn't hit nothing. Waited a few went by, backed up and got going, and pulled the track on the apron, let the whole field go back by me, put me a lap down. And I said, not to worry, it's Bristol. We're gonna have a caution like in the first 10 laps, and I think it was like lap 7 or 8. Sure enough, got a caution and got back on the lead lap. So um, I was happy to get 11th place out of it after having that happen in lap 0. So hadn't got to the start finish line, I was already backwards on the track. So
It,
we'll look
yeah,
at
that's
points real
always a good.
quick.
That's a good recovery.
We'll look at points real quick, and then our guests will be ready to come in. I'll let you run through these points.
Yeah. So defending points champion, Jeff Pogo still leading the points. I think he's pretty much led since at least Rockingham when he won there. Kip Easley still in second place. Jim Ott third. Cody Meadows is in fourth place, and then Steve Ritter fifth after a couple really good runs, top two or three straight top fives for Steve, jumped him up into points. Johnny Barker sixth, myself in seventh, Eli Raposa's in eighth, you're in ninth, Rob, and then rounding out the top 10, Daniel Holcroft, but nipping at them toes. Actually, you know what? We'll go right to the top 15 since we got the playoffs on this one.
Yep,
So then we got Anthony Calantoni, who's worked his way up into the playoffs. He's 11th. Arabia Caton still in 12th. Nick Larson's 13th. Joe Hudson 14th, and Michael Pardusky's sitting on the edge at 15th, but he's no longer running with the league, so that'll drop quickly. And behind that is Tyler Belanger, who's finished. He's won a race earlier this year at Kentucky. He could jump in there.
yep,
Finley also not racing anymore. And then the next person really surprised me after missing a bunch of races. Frank.
yep.
Frank is
Frank
sitting
and
18th,
you got
and with those three guys basically not racing in front of him.
yeah. Frank's got a legitimate shot, as does
Yeah,
Tanner and Kevin. Um,
yeah, and
um,
Joey's down there, and
yeah, the
Chris has
guy.
missed a few weeks,
Yeah,
so
I wouldn't count out Chris there. We
it's
got
gonna get real tight here.
yeah, it's gonna be interesting as we go through this stretch run. But real quick, just want make the announcement. We're gonna stay consistent with what we did 2 years ago with the playoffs. So when we reset for the first round of the playoffs, the top 15 points get set to the same amount of points, and then for every win you have, you get one bonus point. So right now, Jeff Pogo would, if the top 15 went in just the way it was now, Jeff would be the points leader with 3 points, and then Jim,
with
Cody,
Anthony,
and
with Anthony,
oh, with
Anthony also
Anthony,
has
yes,
three
yep,
with.
Anthony does too. So those two would be tied for the points lead, and then it would be um, Jim, Cody, and Steve. No, it'd be
Nope.
Jim and Cody
So
with 1 point. Um,
yep.
so and then everyone else, and then when we go to round 2, we eliminate the bottom 5 after the first 3 races, and then everyone for round 2, the bonus points go away, and everyone starts even. So those bonus points only come into effect the first round of the playoffs. After round 1, it's all on your points in those 3 races during that round. So, um, gonna get super interesting um, here in just a few weeks.
It should be really interesting, especially watching this cutoff line. I mean, I'm trying to do quick math in my head, and I'm dropping it down to Frank because I'm just kind of factoring in the. Actually, I'll factor in Tyler still, because he has had a win, and that'll be a bonus point if he gets in. So,
Yep.
from Tyler to, we'll say Joey is 60 points, which seems like a lot, but if Tyler doesn't race, that drops down to 40 points from Joey to Frank. So,
Yep.
a lot could happen here entering towards the playoffs. And this basically it'll be like almost like the wild card spot. It's gonna be the last spot because
Yep.
pretty much everybody above 15th seems kind of like they're here every week. They're locked in, and as long as they're here running, I don't see them anybody dropping out of the top 15. That's already up and in there. But that 15th
Yep.
spot right now is really exciting.
Yeah, and it was you got Frank, and then 4 points on Frank. You got Tanner, and then only 7 points behind Frank is Kevin, and then um, Progar is only 18 points behind Frank. So it could get super interesting here.
Yeah.
So I see Joey's down in his chat. I'm gonna move him up to us, and we will. Actually, let me do this first. Let me get the topic we're gonna talk about up here, and let me move Joey up, and we'll bring him in here. Joining us now is the Sim 500 league owner and promoter, and a member of our racing league in both our Cup and Busch Series, Joey Gattina. Joey, how are you tonight? Hey, Joey, you there?
He might not be right on.
He might not
He
be
might be waiting.
quite
Yeah,
ready for us.
7:30. 7:30 exactly on the dot.
So, um,
Oh, I just saw him light up there for a second. He might be
Me?
getting ready. There he
hey there,
is.
Jody. Joey, how are you? You're on air.
Hey guys, no, I've been here. What's going on?
Oh,
Oh,
not much. We're talking about the Busch and Cup race last week, and the fun that was Bristol.
yeah. Before
Yes.
we go into anything else, just what were your thoughts on last weekend, Joey?
Well, I can say don't do any updates on your steering wheel in the middle of a race.
That is true. I forgot that you had that
I did
that
too.
happened.
That was Friday night,
All
right?
right.
Yeah.
Yes. I don't really remember how Sunday went. I raced so much; it's so hard. I think it was. I remember how I ran Sunday.
You and I were around each other
Maybe
all
y'all,
night. I finished
maybe
11th.
y'all
You
can
finished
help me.
12th.
Okay, it wasn't
Um,
a good night then. No wonder I don't remember.
it was an eventful night, I think, for everyone that was there, except maybe Mike Kelly. But everyone else was. I think everyone else was coming and going all night.
Yeah, great car count too for Bristol. It's looking forward to what brings, especially tonight in Texas, and then of course Sunday. It's going to be some great racing.
Yeah, Brad and I were discussing that. I think you're going to see some guys that don't like short tracks show up this week at Texas. So I think the Cup Series will probably be over 30, and we might be pushing 30 on the Busch side, which would be awesome.
Absolutely.
So Joey, let's just start out. We had you on earlier, but it was a really condensed early in the season, and it was really condensed. We had like 3 or 4 people on that night, and we didn't get a big chance, a big time period to talk to you. Just give our listeners and our fellow league members a quick rundown of who you are and what you've done both on the sim and outside the sim and racing, and the history of your league, Sim 500, because we really didn't get a whole lot of chance to talk about that when you were on before.
Yeah, I'll step away from the keyboard because I've been working for like the last 3 hours. We're getting started here, and you guys, I'm kind of weird about the way I do things. I like to end the season in a calendar year and then start everything off the next year. So we're actually putting everything winter pictures together and this and that and the other. We're still behind, and we've been planning for months. But no, Sim 500 was along well before me. I was just fortunate enough back in the day, and I don't know how many years this goes back, but A guy by the name of Night V, Brian Cogan. A lot of people probably don't like that name, but Brian was had a vision for sim racing like none other. The guy was eccentric. He would get in a flight simulator and like fly to the track and then race and then get back in his plane and fly back home. That's how this guy rolled. So he could see things we didn't. He actually created, or really was the forefront with broadcasting and putting races on live. We did a lot of different things with that. But he had a series called the Monday Night Money Series, which I would almost relate it to being the DWC or the iRacing Pro Series today. Drivers paid a lot of money. There was actually car owners. You had to buy a number. You had to pay to qualify to enter your car to qualify. It was really detailed and very expensive to do. I actually didn't do any of that stuff. I raced in another league, but I came over with Brian. I worked on the weekend stuff. I always got in trouble with my wife, and so I said, Brian, I'm having trouble racing in the week. I'd love to put something together on Fridays, like a late night, midnight series. And Midnight Thunder was born. And Brian Keselowski and myself, Brad's brother, were working on that and Nocturnal Adrenaline together. Nocturnal Adrenaline was on Saturdays. Anyways, we did that for a while, but here we are today. We're celebrating 10 years back with Sim 500 Rebirth on iRacing, and we've been very crazy with our schedules over the years. I mean, there's been some years we've been 7 nights a week, and everything's been broadcasted. You can only imagine the stress that puts on not me, but the entire staff that we have that helps us. So now, um, I never thought I'd be this guy, but I am. We race 3 nights a week, and we finished up last night. So we race Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and when I finished up last night, I said, "Man, we're done. We have nothing else to do." So I'm able to spend more time with doing different things with AI and power rankings and stuff. I mean, I learn a lot from you guys, Chop. Everybody has these cool little things that they do, so I steal it and bring it over to Sim 500 for my own.
I
We've
will say
definitely
that
done
the
the
power
same.
ranking, yeah, the power ranking thing was really cool.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I ain't saying that, Joey, just because I was on top of the power rankings. I'm not saying
Right,
that.
right, right,
But
right. And matter of fact, as you were dragging me in, I just finished your updated winter picture. Congratulations last night.
yeah, Rob, I slayed the Daytona Dragon.
I see
I'm
that.
lucky. I got lucky, but yeah, it
Led the
was
most
fun running.
laps.
No,
No,
no, no, no.
no,
That was me. That was me.
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah.
it does say that in the power rankings, but
it does say
yeah,
that in the
Joey
power
led the most
rankings. Yeah.
Joey did lead the most laps, and I was ready to push Joey to that win if it had not been a caution with 5 to go or whatever it was. But
So my question is,
We've
did
had
you
some.
have your strategy
Yeah.
chief, Brandon?
I I don't know if it was good or bad that I was like kind of like by myself trying to figure out like how am I gonna stay with the draft because it was just me. So
And I actually put him three wide coming out of four, and I said, "Oh, that's Brandon." And so I backed out and got in behind him because I had him in just a standard flat black number 5, and of course, I'm not going to relate number 5 to him. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I immediately went today and changed his number to 1. I kicked the guy out that had the 1, so now Brandon's the 1. I can see his paint job and I know his number, so I won't be trying
yeah.
to pass him again.
I was
Uh,
like, do I want to pull out at that time? I was like, do I want to pull out in front of him? And I was like, the only way I think I can get in front of these people. And then Joey went around me, and I was like, he probably had. I was probably. I thought I was still going way too slow for you at that point, anyways. So I kind of thought I was blocking, but I came out early enough. But it was fun. Really wish it would have raced out because yeah, not having. I mean, it was just me and Stoney on that last lap, kind of boring. But it was also nice not having to be like, what lane am I blocking? What am I doing here?
Yeah, that was. We came through the trial. Actually, I was streaming last night, and as I came into turn 3, I said, here we go. We got this one in the bag. And then we came through the tribal, and you could just see the dejection on my face. I actually crossed the start finish line and put my hands on my face and probably cried a few tears. I mean, the last 2 nights, I feel like I've ran the smartest possible race I've got on and off pit road within the top five group. I mean, I have been there, and it's just been circumstances that out of my doing. But that's been my whole like that was 2005 for me. I think out of all of our races I ran last year, I might have calls, and I'm not even kidding you. I'm gonna say two, but I think on record it's one wreck all year, all series, one accident, one mistake, and I was just in everybody else's.
So Brandon winning last night at Daytona is a great entry to what we got you on tonight to talk about, Joey, and that's the brand new project you put together, the Interleague 500. So it's your baby. We'll let you go and explain it and talk about it and explain what it is and what your thoughts were behind it and who's involved and what it's going to look like.
Well, I would like to say it is a we idea because I literally don't know where I came up with the idea that we do this, but it just kind of I talked to you, I talked to Strickland over at Chop, and I said, "Hey man, what do y'all think?" And then within the hour, we had a Discord up, we had a logo, we had somewhat of a format, and within 48 hours, we had over 50 drivers registered. So it was definitely not planned. It took everybody to say, "Hey, let's do it. Let's push it to our guys. We want to be involved in it." So at this point, right now, we're probably what I think we start qualifying next Saturday or Sunday. Last I checked, we have 72 registered drivers out of a maximum 80 spots. So at $10 a driver, 100% going back to the drivers. We're looking at over or right at $1,000 in sponsorship. We even threw up some sponsorship opportunities, and that sold out within probably 30 minutes. So that's it's just amazing how fast this has all come together.
Yeah, and I think we're at 73 because I don't think Kenny Real has got in yet, and I just messaged him and told him that I will the league will sponsor him um, to run it
Come on,
if
Kenny.
Yeah, I told
if
him.
he runs an 802 iRacing League's paint scheme. So Johnny
I told him
Barker's
I got a
already
car for him.
Johnny's already a being sponsored by the league, but I like to Johnny runs really good at Daytona. I like to pair him up with Kenny, and I'll pay Kenny's entry fee. So um, I sent Kenny a message. We'll see if he answers me here while we're on, and maybe we can say you're down to only 7 spots left.
Yeah, that'd be great. Or not? It's just crazy, isn't it? My wife was like, "What are you doing on your phone so much?" And I'm like, "Well,
I'm a race promoter.
I'm a race promoter." Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah. And I actually told her today, I was like, "Can you believe we're at 70 some odd drivers?" And she's like, "Wow." And it's obviously I love the idea because again, I mentioned earlier, as far as the sim league, my league, the way it's been is we've just been internally building and recruiting, and it's changed a lot. I don't know why it's changed, but it's harder to find drivers. I remember the coolest driver I ever found in recruiting. I was just in an open official server, which I don't do much of that, an official race, and me and this gentleman ran, really close together and had a great battle. And I messaged him and a couple others, and he came over, and it wound up being Brian Boris Cook. And if you're not familiar with Brian Boris Cook, he is Boris, the PR for Joe Gibbs. And that spawned off so much stuff for the league. We did some winter series with Joe Gibbs. I mean, we had Christopher Bell, Denny Hamlin. Man, you got in a list of some of the guys. We actually kicked Ty Gibbs out of the series. Interstate Battery sponsored it. They had all kind of things, the promotional giveaways. Our champion got a trip. Now he had to take care of it himself to get there, but he had an all access pass to the race with Interstate Batteries in the suite, on top of the pit box and everything from what we did at Sim 500. So, but anyways, when I say it's changed, it's changed. I've noticed last year it was just so hard to find drivers, and then when you find them, you don't know what you're getting, and then um, we scaled back. So I've always liked the idea of looking at, you know, Monday through Sunday being a shopping center, and every one of those uh, need to be filled, and I don't have to fill them. So I can fill a couple of those, and I can look out there for partners like I have with 802, who's got 2 nights that we don't race on that fit right perfect in there. We go to Chop Shop. They've got 2 nights that fit right perfect into what we're doing. So in a lot of ways, what I feel like, what the main goal is to offer our drivers, your drivers, Chop Shop's drivers, racing 7 nights a week, but it's all vetted and it's good racing, and you don't have to deal with the new guy off the block that or the kid or whatever the case, because it takes a special group to keep everybody happy. And I think just by racing in these leagues, I know everybody's got it pretty much together. You don't have the bad apples. You got great guys that want to race, mostly older guys, which is really good. So the temperaments are down, and it just works really well. So far so good. But that's been kind of my vision. I don't think Sim 500 right now with us cutting back. I mean, we're pretty much full, but at the same time, we do have spots on Thursday with a limited 3,000. But Wednesday we're blowing over with drivers. I think Chop's got a series and Arca series they're trying to do on Wednesdays. And then Monday Cup starts up here soon, so we're excited about that. I think we got 5 spots left on it, and I haven't advertised it at all. And we'll be starting 56. Won't start 56, but we're going to take 56 entries.
That's pretty impressive. So the guys are going to have to, excuse me, they're going to have to qualify in on speed, which I think is an awesome aspect of the deal.
Yeah, it's we did set 2 provisionals for just as a any driver that doesn't make the race with the most series starts, not some 500 starts, but series starts that night. So I think this is going to be kind of the model how we wind up taking Mondays and Wednesdays and just making it to where, hey, we're not going to put a cap on this. Well, maybe to a certain extent, because there's only so many you can get in a server, right? Before it gets messy. But anyways, hey, it's a good problem to have, right?
Absolutely. So, um, Kenny Rio's paid and entered. He just confirmed he'll race, and it'll be a split sponsorship. So, um,
Look at that.
I'll
Oh
be like
yeah.
802 iRacing and BG Graphics, and I will, Brandon.
Yeah.
I'll send you I'll send you the. You're already doing Johnny's paint, so
You don't have to pay me for Kenny's.
What is
maybe
Kenny's? What's his number?
11 if it's open.
he runs 11 if it's open. If not, he'll have to pick something else, right?
I've got 13.
I just invited him to
I'll
the
check.
Discord.
Let me check the numbers. I could probably guess.
Yeah. Okay.
But
Um, but yeah, so maybe do like mirror cards, like flip the paints on them so they look kind of different or the same. But yeah, so
Well,
Johnny's really good at
this raises
Daytona, and I know Getty's really good, so it'll be interesting.
well, the interesting part is we're kind of like winging this, right? So, coming into Sunday, we've got to get 80 drivers in to qualify. It's 1 lap, um, and we're going to have a server up for 4 hours. So there's a lot of learning on the fly that we're going to be doing here. So the faster we get our 80 drivers, the faster we all can sit down and start discussing, hey, how do we get them in here? And then we'll build the dual races, which are 60 laps apiece. VBR Network is gonna they jumped in with us. They're gonna pick up those 2 races and cover them for us live. The only thing we don't have right now covered, and we're going to, is the last chance race. That'd be Monday, January 26th. Again, another 60 lapper, and man, we got a great format. I just hope it all works out, right?
give Kenny
Yeah.
number 99.
Kitty number 99. There he is.
We'll have 1 and 99. I like that.
And I just put all that in driver registration too, so over there. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun. I know we have a bunch of guys from our league going over, and really, it's kind of Go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, I'm excited for also like what Joey also said, what we can do with this server eventually. But I'll let
Yeah.
you finish your thought, and then we can go into the future thing.
No, go ahead.
I mean, it's just I don't want to throw anything out there, anything like that, because we haven't confirmed that we want. I mean, what do you think, Joey? Should we throw the idea out there now of what like our next possible venture is, or should we wait until
Yeah,
we
I
get the
mean,
thing
I
all over? Because I
I,
think I
I like
think I'm pretty much all in on. I'm all in on like whatever I got to do. Like you've pretty much done. I feel like you've done this whole planning for this one solo. I don't think you've had much other. I don't know if there's anybody else that's really been helping you behind the scenes, but I've seen it, like every post is you. You're doing all this. So like if we do this next one, I don't mind being more involved in
Yeah.
like you said. But if we can do this next one, which the plan will be to do a virtual Indy 500 and the virtual Coke 600 to where people can have the option, well, the chance. You don't just get the option; you have to qualify for both and all that. But you'll have a chance to run the double in a day, I believe. Or I don't know if we're gonna do each race on 2 different days. I feel like the
no,
double
I think
all
you
in
got to
one.
do it. You
Yeah,
got
you
to do
got
it
to do it
all in
all in
one
one.
day.
You gotta do it in
Yeah.
one day.
Okay. 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 Good. I just wanted to make
And
sure
I don't
that
know.
we're all good with that. But
We
yeah,
can
so the
start off with
double would be
breakfast in Monaco.
I
yeah.
was just gonna say, do we want to do breakfast at Monaco, lunch at Indy, and dinner
Nobody's
at
nobody's
at
ever done the
Charlotte?
triple. Nobody's ever done the triple.
Just wait till
Uh,
divorce. Let's race 3 days.
But yeah, the next venture being the opportunity to run the double, I think would be a great secondary event for this kind of. I don't know what this would even be called. Like the race is called the Interleague 500. I don't know if it's just like the Interleague Series, whatever. But we'll figure something out for all that after. But yeah, I would love to have a chance to try to do the double. I think that's a very cool thing, even if it is virtual. It's not going to be easy to qualify for both of these races, especially. I don't know about you guys, but I've run a little bit of IndyCar, but it's not like something I do that often. So, and I don't know about other people in all three of these leagues how often they race it.
I
Used
think
to
I've
have an
run it
IndyCar
once.
series, yeah, but it's when all that went down with the licensing and it going away and coming back. I haven't messed with it, but I have to say, as a race fan, tradition Indy 500 is probably my favorite race of the year.
I
I wish,
love the Indy 500. I want to go
I,
to one so bad.
yeah, yeah. But the problem is, like, you're only going to see like a hue, and then you're
Oh,
listening. It's more of a
I was
sound, I think, if you go to Indy, right?
yeah, just sounding like I ain't gonna lie, the snake pit looks pretty fun. I'm a little bit younger, you know, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't
I've
mind
heard
getting
about
in the
that.
snake. I wouldn't mind getting in the snake pit for a little bit and just like you said. I think you go there because it's more of the spectacle and the event. Like, yeah, you'll see some of the race, but they're flying by so fast. Like, it's hard to see them probably, but the
Does it
event
get
is
better
just
than
something.
back home in Indiana?
Ugh.
Yeah,
I
I got a
love that
friend
song.
that's been 2 or 3 times, and he says that the racing is secondary. It's more the event itself and the people watching. And
Yep.
so, Joy, this is the part of the night where we get into the preview. So, if you have time, we'll keep you on here while we do the preview for this weekend, and
Yeah,
we
fire
can
away.
put some pressure on you to. We have this tradition where we pick who we think is going to win, and
Oy.
um, I've been told
He's like,
my
oh,
teammate
guys, actually, I gotta go. I actually gotta go.
my teammates threatened me if I lead pipe to the knee like Tanya Harding did to Nancy Kerrigan. Excuse me if I pick him again. Um, so tonight's the 6 shooter 195 at Legacy, Texas. So it's not the new Texas. It's the throwback, the old high banked turn 1 and 2. Um, so you're the guest tonight, Joey. So we'll give you the field. Who would be your pick at Texas?
You know, I don't know, man. I'm gonna say me. No, I'm just kidding. As far as the drivers that are just absolutely, I was trying to look at the points right here. Cody Gibson's really tough to beat, but um, I like Chad Coleman. Um, going into that race. I don't know if Kevin Brown's jumped in as of yet, but these guys, I can't tell you how much they despise the new Texas. They love this track, so it brings people out in droves when you run Legacy Texas.
I did have a Kevin Stone asked to get in, but I'm not seeing Kevin Brown's yet. Yeah, I was gonna say you probably have some more insight as like a bunch of these of the Sim 500 guys that have come over, and like I ain't gonna lie, you've been beating us here a little bit the past few weeks, and we gotta get back on our own turf here. But yeah, you race with a lot of these guys, so you probably know like Chad. I mean, obviously he's come in and won two straight races. It's kind of like I feel like yeah, he's obviously shown I'm here and I'm fast. But then you had last week we had Kenny kind of like almost make a run at him, so we'll see. That
Well, these races, though, I have to say, have not been um, runaways, right? I know
no,
No.
the
they're
poke the Pocono race. I got wrecked out. Oh, yeah, I got wrecked out helping you out there, Rob, when you kind of got off the corner. And I was probably a
Yeah, you
couple
gave
weeks
me a
ago, but
break and
still,
you paid for it.
even though a couple weeks ago, I sat back and just watched that race and watched the level of drivers and raising up that I rating up a little bit. I think we're at that threshold now where anybody that's over that limit just has no life. But the racing was phenomenal. You had so many different guys. I don't think I've ever watched a Pocono race that I've enjoyed more, just from the competition aspect, the uh, the the challenge of strategy. I think there was a fuel strategy in play, a tire strategy in play. I mean, what a race! So it's a lot easier to sit back and reflect on races that you're not in. But that just that's what I go around and tell people when I talk about when they ask me about 802 and the 5,000 cap. I just tell them, I said, this is the strongest probably racing that you can do. I know you can open it up and have those other guys, but um, generally they run away with it, right? But when you get the right group of guys together, I still feel like there's some that may be over that would probably still fall under some of the guys that are winning right now. But when you have that group that are so close together, man, the racing is just so good.
yeah. Finding that like that cap zone was like a very hard number because like we've raised it like 1,000 each the past few seasons, and it's just like I think we could go a little bit more, and like I think we've hit a pretty sweet zone, especially like the way these last four races have been since everybody's pretty much come over. Yeah, there's been some cautions, but like I was saying, like before you even came on, it was like a lot of the cautions are a lot of self spins that lead into bigger things in a way. There's been some incidents, but the majority of everything has just been hard racing where like somebody's just they're racing harder than they probably normally do because like there's new guys in the field and they're pushing themselves a little bit harder than the car can actually take at times. So I think it's been good.
One of the things I was hoping to see with this deal, and we've seen the last 3 weeks, um, which is what I envisioned, is we're seeing before we'd have two or three cars that run the top three, we'd have three or four cars that could run, that fourth through seventh, and then we had a group of guys that you could almost predict where they were going to fall, in the running order. And now we got such a vast group of guys. There's competitive racing from first to 25th, and those guys that are running eighth to 20th, they're racing. They're not just back there turning last by themselves. They're racing other guys for those positions, and that's way more rewarding as to bring guys back each week than if they're out there just turning laps by themselves. If there's 15 cars and they're always gonna be 12th to 15th, like I feel like that's what we were missing the last couple of years is the volume of cars that no matter where your skill was, you have someone to race and be competitive around and challenge yourself. Hey, I need to work to get better than this guy, and then all of a sudden, hey, I'm beating him now. Now I need to go get this guy. So um, that's what I noticed watching the replays the last 2 weeks is guys that last 30 laps of a race would be kind of just turning laps. They're still racing with 30 to go. They're racing for position, and to me, that's a huge part of it. Hello?
So Joey picked Chad. Who are you going with, Rob? Who are you gonna
You're
go
gonna
with
make me.
here?
You're gonna make me pick. You don't want to go
Yeah,
next.
I don't want to go next. I don't want to go next. I would like to go last because I have one, but I want to see if you'll pick him or not.
Hmm. I hadn't really thought yet.
It's not easy to do, is
I,
it?
I
Especially
think
when you're in the field.
I want to pick. I know who I want to pick, but I think it's gonna be Anthony. I think I think Anthony may pull it off tonight. Get a win in the Busch Series.
All right, perfect. I'm gonna take Dustin. I'm gonna take Dustin Coggin. So I think Dustin's ran good the last 3 weeks. So book
Yeah,
it.
I think the curveball for the AO2 guys. We've never run Legacy Texas, and I know the Sim 500 guys have. That's what they run. Um, so it's kind of like we don't in the 802 we don't run New Atlanta. We always run Old Atlanta. And from what I understand, Joey, you guys don't run New Texas. You run Old Texas. So
And we don't run New Atlanta, we run Old Atlanta. So
yep.
it's
Oh my God, Joey, that is so refreshing to know for next week's truck race.
yes.
I was like,
But
man,
on Monday we do follow the schedule to the T. So um
at
but
least we
yeah,
don't have
but
to go to
on
Mexico City.
yes, right, yeah.
You didn't you haven't made the one exception to the schedule and do Old Atlanta, huh? That's I feel Old Atlanta is the best track on the sim for Cup Xfinity truck. It doesn't matter. Just the day they reconfigured that track, they just stuck a dagger in my heart. Um,
Yeah, but I mean, I like the old Atlanta back in the '90s when they didn't have that dog
The
leg in
dog
the
leg.
yeah,
front. Yeah,
the old actual oval. Yep.
yeah. So I mean, it had its own look. But I mean, I've been over to that racetrack. Not sure if you guys have. I don't really venture out to many races outside of Talladega, which I don't go to any races anymore. But um, the what happened with that track and the reconfiguration was absolutely amazing for the track staying alive. So for that, I'm happy that they did it versus Atlanta just going away. And they have created something that brings fans out, and
I wish they would have done it to
hopefully,
Texas though and kept Atlanta.
yeah, yeah. Texas is out in the middle of nowhere. There's just so many things. Like I said, if we ran NASCAR, there'd be so many things that we did different, done
3 mile
right, right?
track. They need
Probably
to
we
do a
do it the
three
right
mile
way.
track. Everything's bigger in Texas, right? Just
That's
make it a
right.
3 mile track. Uh, yeah, that's the Bush. I mean, if you get into the cut picks here, Rob.
Yeah. So let me transition over. Um, so it's a Lone Star 225. It's what 160 laps, I believe, right? If I remember correctly. Um, Joey will give you first pick again for the Cup Series on
Oh,
Sunday.
Throw you on the spot back to back, Joey.
yeah. I tell you, man. I want to go with the defending champion of the series, Mr.
Ooh,
Pogo.
Oh, there goes my
always a
pick.
safe pick. There's always
There
a
goes
safe
my
pick.
pick. It's 150 laps,
It's
not 160.
Yeah,
it's time for him to get back to where he was prior to some of these guys coming over. So I think Texas is going to be that race for him.
I go next now. It's time, Rob.
I you can or I can. I'll let you go because I already have my pick in my head. See if you pick it.
All right. I'm gonna go with your teammate. I'm gonna go with Steve. He's on a top 5 streak.
Well, he can beat you in
So.
the lead pipe because he was not my pick. So, but I am going to keep my pick on the Wolfpack. It's going to be Johnny Barker. So I ran some laps with Johnny a couple nights ago, and we all know Johnny likes a really free car, right, and a really free racetrack. Um, Johnny was in another zip code when we ran the other night, so I
I
have a
don't trust
feeling.
Johnny's luck right now.
Well,
Scares me. He has my
that's
luck.
why I'm picking him because like it's like betting black on the roulette wheel, right? Like eventually it's not going to happen, and he's been picking bad luck every week, so eventually he's going to have some good luck. So,
And he can't blame you. He can't be like, "That's your
no,
fault." Be like,
no,
"No."
no, like hey, if he's had 8 or 9 weeks of bad luck, so if he has bad luck this week, that's you, man. You're
Yeah,
snake bit. But if he wins or he has a top three, it's because I
you
picked
have to
him, so
pick him
I'm the
every week.
hero.
Yeah.
Uh, so that I think about covers everything. Am I missing anything?
Not that I know of. We, we like we said, the G.Stone Motors 358 series will return next Tuesday at Williams Grove after the postponed race. This week, Texas. Obviously, we got the big interleague race coming up here next month. So yeah, racing's all a bust. Obviously, all the Sim 500 racing. Um, Lots of racing, and you can all. There's links. We both post. The Sim 500 has a Facebook. You can go to theirs, find the race links. We post our race links also to the YouTubes on our 802 iRacing League's Facebook. So lots of racing to get you ready for if you're obviously a regular NASCAR fan. There's always racing that you could watch.
So Joey, I do see there's not a name. It's just a K and 3 dots that ask they could get in the race tonight. Do you know? And you checkered flagged it in the Busch driver roster. Is who is that so we can get them in?
I thought that was Kevin Stone.
Okay, that's Kevin Stone.
Yeah,
Okay,
I believe that was
yeah.
Kevin Stone.
Okay, so he's all set then. I just want to make sure while we had you on here to double check.
Mr. Kevin Stone, yes, sir. He
Yeah.
is not sure if he's an engine builder or what he does, but he's with Roush Yates Engines.
Nice, very cool. Oh, one thing I do want to just toss out there. Big deal for us here up here in the Northeast. I see Stewie is cleared to get back in a race car. He's been back in his big block modified. Turned
Yeah, I
some
think he was
laps.
taking laps.
Yep, he turned some laps this week, and he announced to be back in the truck at Daytona. So that's exciting news. Very lucky that he's back
Yeah,
this quick after that injury. It was a horrific injury up at Audrum Drummond, and looking forward to seeing him down in Florida and having a couple beverages with him. So, okay, I think that wraps us up for tonight. As always, we will head out with word from our title sponsor for the Dirt Series. Brandon, what's your prediction for next week on Thursday night? You're gonna back up your win?
If somebody could take out the whole field behind me again, coming to the white flag, I think I'll have a good shot. No, Old
My
Atlanta, I'm
best kept secret.
excited to know that now. Tire strategy race, that'll be fun. My kind of racing. Yeah, I'm still learning the truck a lot. It's it's a lot of fun. There was one point in the race last night I didn't think that I was gonna catch a draft, and the trucks it sucks up really good. So I know that's the way it is at a lot of mile and a half too. The truck depends a lot on drafting a lot of tracks. So yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be a learning process each week with the truck, but I'm excited, and at least I was high in the power rankings at least once this year.
Well, that
So
series on Thursdays though with a 3,000 cap, it is it is probably the most fun I think we have all week. At least my guys I know. It's just our night to win, right? It's a chance to come out and win races like you just did last night. So there's a lot of guys I love looking and seeing as names that don't necessarily get the chance to run up in those top 5, top 10s. It's adding confidence to a lot of drivers. It's blown my confidence out of my head. But I
Well,
tell you, man, it's been fun.
I saw Brian got the pole, and I'm like, damn, that's awesome. Good for him. Like that was
Yeah,
really exciting to see him get the pole. I know he beat you out, Joey. I know. I know this is a rough night for you on both ends of this, but it
I'm
was
looking
cool to see
forward.
yeah,
him get the pole.
I'm looking forward to getting a race Thursday night with you guys. Like I said, fell asleep last night, but I will be there this Thursday night, especially now that I know it's Old Atlanta. I love that place, so
yeah.
looking forward to
Races
getting
are,
back over and race with you guys on Thursday nights.
yeah, we'd love to have you. Races are fairly short. They're 2 sets of tires only, 75% fuel. So that's everywhere we go. So yeah, the seasons are kicked off, man. I'm ready for race season to get here. I know you're getting to go down to Daytona and watch all that dirt fly and everything else. And man, this is as exciting as it gets for me right now behind the computer.
Oh, I'll get over to New Smyrna at least one night to watch the World Series. We always head over there on um, usually Sunday night, so it'd be like Sunday the I don't know, like the 7th or 9th, whatever it is. I think it's 7th. I don't know. Volusia's off that Sunday night. Sunday and Monday both they're off, so we'll go over and for the New Smyrna and watch the mods and the supers run. We raced there for 8 years every year with between the Florida Modifieds and the Pro and the Supers. So love that place, but yeah, I'm a dirt guy at heart. Just heads up, you two. I will not be around next Friday night. You guys are gonna have to admin everything. Brandon, I'll get you up to speed so you can do the podcast. Maybe you can get Joey to co-host it with you. Um, I'm actually heading down to just outside Philly to my aunt's. Her husband for Christmas got a gaming PC. He's been playing Gran Turismo on a PlayStation 5 with wheels and pedals for 2-3 years now, and he's making the move to iRacing. So I'm gonna go down next Friday morning, and we're gonna get him set up and get him up and running on iRacing. So
Welcome to the jungle.
yeah, yeah. I don't think he understands the addiction he's gonna get into.
Yeah,
But he turns left and right. He's one of those road racers. He likes those GT3 cars and stuff. So um, maybe he can teach me how to do that, and I can get better on road courses. But they watch our Sunday night race pretty regularly, so he's been exposed to iRacing and stuff. So looking forward to going down there and getting him set up and going. But with that, I will we'll play our ad from our title sponsor of the G.Stone Motors 358 Mod Series. And Brandon, Joey, I'll catch you guys in about 20 minutes for practice.
Sounds
yep.
great, guys. Appreciate you having me on.
Don't forget, guys, you could also listen to the podcast now on Apple Music. You can do it through Amazon also, and there's one other one,
Spotify?
Spotify. Yep. Those are 3 that you can now listen to this, just audio versions, and always like YouTube. Subscribe to all those, even if you don't want to listen to them.
Smash the like button.
But
Helps us out.
yes, let's go, get us going. But Joey, thanks for coming on, and yeah, we'll see you guys in a little bit, and we'll talk to y'all next week.
See you in Texas, guys.
Yep. See you in a little bit.
Motorsports and racing cars is a big part of the heritage here at G.Stone Motors. Todd and I have been racing each other for years. I love the one-on-one competition. It comes bottom line, we're all behind each other and support each other with everything we do. I think that says a lot about our company's culture. I'm Vince Quinville, Service Manager at G.Stone Motors.
G.Stone